Hey, what's up, y'all? Alright, man, it's been a couple days, but shit, we back. Today we're covering the Chargers. I always feel like I got it too. Let me adjust the DJ booth. Alright, today we got the Chargers, though. Let's take a look at them, man. I got a little time today. You heard from the last video, my allergies are kind of clearing up. I think that was allergies, I don't know. But, let's cover these Chargers, man. Let's take a look at Justin Herbert first and foremost, the quarterback. Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert, we always had this beef with him as a Cowboy fan because, as y'all know it, the Cowboys fans, man, people don't really rock with Dak, and Dak's had kind of a tough year, bounce back year though, on the way. But as far as you talk about Justin Herbert, man, he's 10-7 record last year. It ain't 12-5, but he's never had more than a 10-7 record. His completion percentage was good, 4,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He had 15 interceptions last year in 17 games, though, so I guess we'll give him a little credit for that. But these guys will throw picks, and my only thing is he had an underwhelming amount of touchdowns thrown. So, 25 touchdowns is nothing really to throw your hands in the air for, but he has decent weapons around him. Last year he did lose a lot. Rashawn Slater's left tackle, and we'll get into him with him in a minute. So, I don't know. I like Justin Herbert. I respect him, but again, not much difference between him and Dak. But we'll see how that kind of pans out. Austin Eckler, as y'all know, he re-signed, I think, for 4 years, $24 million. So that's a good contract for Austin Eckler. I think that's a smart thing as a running back. If you get into your 4th or 5th year, I think you want to kind of secure a little bit more and not just really try to hold yourself up to thinking that you should have a big time franchise money. Just get you enough money to where, on the back end of that deal, as your body starts to decline, people can kind of respect those type of deals. Don't make yourself a cap casualty, because you eventually will be. Let's see, Austin Eckler's numbers. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnson from TCU, the rookie. So the wide receiving core is nice in LA. So we'll check out more or less. We know about Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Those guys are really good. I think it's just injury issues that they've had. So let's check out Austin Eckler, and we'll check out those injury issues here. Austin Eckler, he had 915 yards rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns. But what he can also give you is that receiving, of course. And he had 722 yards receiving. So one of those Brian Westbrook type of running backs. He's going to give you rushing and receiving. LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk. Just one of those type of guys. Going into the 7th year. So, like I said, I think the deal was decent for him. 5 touchdowns receiving. So 18 touchdowns total last year. So it was a good deal between him and the front office. So not bad on his part to kind of understand and realize where he's at in this point of his career and just moving forward. Mike Williams was only hurt 4 games last year. Mike Williams has been someone who can miss a couple games for you. 895 yards. 4 touchdowns receiving. Let's see, Keenan Allen. I wanna say he missed a pretty significant amount of time last year as well. Yeah, he only did 10 games. Started 10 games. Was injured 7. 752 yards though. So I think Quentin Johnson will come in and give great insurance for Justin Herbert if he loses one of those guys. That's kind of tough to miss your playmakers like that. Let's see. Quentin Johnson was one of those first-round picks. pretty good receiver coming out. Would have been a guy that I wouldn't have minded the Cowboys getting. So they're pretty stacked, man, receiver wise. The tight end, Gerald Everett, 555 yards, 4 touchdowns. So not a bad tight end, kind of middle of the pack kind of guy. I don't know how much, I don't know where his blocking's at, but I like Gerald Everett, man. He seems to be like a decent tight end for him. He started only 11 games, so maybe he's somebody that they turn to. So maybe as he gets more starts, he'll be someone that but that's a lot of balls you just spread around. So some of these guys won't really get the big time numbers, but I think with just Justin Herbert's ability, and they did get Kellen Moore from us. Kellen Moore is not really, he's going to get you some numbers. He's going to get you some stats. His thing is just being a young OC as when to kind of manage those games. So that was my thing on Kellen Moore. I don't really hate that he's gone. The numbers and the production were there, but again, there was just a lot of game time things. Not a guy that really runs, so maybe that's that might be cool with Austin Eckler, seeing is that he's a dual running back that can run for you and receive for you. So I don't know, like I ain't gonna miss Kellen, but I mean, if the Chargers feel like they're gonna be a little bit better with it, then I mean, so be it. Looking at the offensive line, Rashawn Slater. Y'all remember that's the year we got Micah Parsons. That was the guy that I really wanted, honestly, instead of Micah. I'll be honest about it. But he's a great left tackle. I think he missed a significant amount of time last year. Let's see, he started, he only played 3 games. So that's going to be a great addition back for the Chargers. That's probably why they kind of underwhelmed last year. They could have definitely used them in that playoff game. I think that was the playoff game. Who came back on them? They had a big lead and somebody came back on them. So Rashawn Slater would be someone that can help you kind of run the ball and keep those leads. Zion Johnson, Corey Linsley. Those names are very familiar to me. Zion was someone that also I think I wanted the Cowboys to pick up instead of Tyler Smith. But, I mean, man, I'm don't listen to me sometimes, Don't listen to me. So, he's cool, though. Corey Linsley, he started 14 games, so he missed about 3 games. Zion started 17. So look for Zion to kind of take that next step, I feel like, in his second year. Solid contributors. I don't want to say that Zion had the type of year Tyler Smith had, but he might be someone that could help him out overall. And then you have Jamari Salyer and Trey Pipkins, right guard and right tackle. That's who's on their depth chart. Let's see. Jamari started 14 games for you. Was available 17. Pipkin started 14. So overall, man, it seems like that Chargers offensive line has some injuries here and there for them. I think what I saw, Zion was the only one that played every game for you, and the rest of that starting line kind of was a little hurt. So if they can stay healthy, that's always something that you need. So offensive line, top to bottom, man, their offense is real solid. I mean, it's more than solid. Has the potential to be a real good offense overall. It's just if Kellen Moore will be the type that, he's not going up by 14 and he's continuing to throw the ball, and he can try to kind of trust his running game a little bit more. So the fact that the Chargers had a playoff game in which they blew a big lead, Kellen Moore had some games last year where he blew some big leads. So I think for Justin Herbert to progress and become more of a quarterback that's known for his winning and not just his arm talent, I think it's going to be very important for Kellen Moore to learn how to run the ball more in situational downs. So maybe the change of scenery. He's not as buddy-buddy with Justin Herbert as he was with Dak. That might be able to help Kellen a little bit more. So we'll see. But their offensive line on that left side seems to be pretty strong, solid across. Great wide receivers, pretty good tight end. Running backs great. Justin Herbert is, when you talk about top 5 rankings, Justin Herbert often finds himself around that 5-6 area when he comes to quarterback. So that Chargers offense should be better for you next year. So they'll be a team to kind of deal with. Points for, they were 13th out of 32, and their defense was 21st out of 32nd. So you can kind of see how that 10-7 record came across. Brandon Staley, a young coach. So we'll see, man. We'll see what that offense does. Now we'll move on to that defense. Like I said, defensively, they were ranked 21st out of 32. Last year, they had a lot of big, I'd say a lot of big pickups, but they did get Khalil Mack. And I remember just looking back at it, him and Joey Bosa were supposed to be this big-time tandem. We'll see how that kind of turns out for them. But let's see, Khalil Mack started every game. Joey Bosa got hurt, so he started 4 games, was available for 5. So Joey Bosa's definitely going to have to stay healthy for you if you want that defense to play up to his potential. Other key injuries was Derwin. Yeah, Derwin missed some games. Probably the most healthy he's been in a while, but, just missing those games. They have a nice back end with Asante Samuel. J.C. Jackson got hurt as well. Only started 5 games. So there were some injuries across that defense. So that kind of explains why that defense was a little underwhelming. When you have some key guys like J.C. Jackson and Joey Bosa missing as much time as they did last year, and then other guys missing here and there, that's going to hurt you. Let's see, Morgan Fox. There are 3-4 defense, so Morgan Fox, Austin Johnson, Sebastian, Joseph Day. Let's check them out, man. Let's check them out. Morgan Fox, Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson seems like he missed about 9 games for you. Morgan Fox missed a couple games. So yeah, that defense was pretty hurt last year. On the defensive line, Fox, even though he only started 12 games, he racked up 6.5 sacks from that defensive, that left side. So 6.5 sacks, that's a pretty good number for a 3-4 defender. D lineman, Austin Johnson. Check out Austin Johnson. Yeah, Austin Johnson missed a lot of games. That's your nose tackle. Now, those guys' primary job is to just kind of hold up double teams and stop the run. So, in those 8 games, he managed to get them at least 1 sack, 22 tackles, QB hits, a couple QB hits, a couple of tackles for losses. So, maybe just the continuity of him being able to stay healthy, that helped their defense out. Sebastian Joseph Day. 16 games in, another DT. 2 sacks. So he was available most of the year, had 2 sacks. So that D-line is pretty good. But I guess with that defense, like I said, it's just a matter if they can stay healthy. So Morgan Fox can help out with the numbers with Khalil Mack. Let's check out Khalil Mack's numbers last year. He had 8 sacks. So probably a ways away from that 10+ sack guy that he used to be. But again, you know, just I think the injuries, and then when you lose Joey Bosa, that's kind of just a little less guys to focus on. So that kind of maybe explains why. I think if Joey Bosa can stay healthy, then Khalil Mack could kind of maybe breach that 10 sacks or 10 sack type season. So Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, Joey Bosa played about, like I said, 5 games, so can't really expect much. But in those 5 games, he did manage to get 2.5 sacks. So injury is going to be key for Joey Bosa. He's been a guy that's been hurt in a couple seasons. So I mean, we'll see if he can kind of stay healthy this year. That'll be big for the Chargers. Let's see who else. Let me take a look at. We'll go to the interior linebackers now. Eric Kendricks and Kenneth Murray Jr. I think both guys are solid. Let me just give you the exact numbers and what they did. I don't see Kendricks listed. What year is this? Oh, that's why. That's why we don't see it. All right, cool. So let's. All right, so Kenneth Murray last year was started 16 games, and he had 76 tackles. So pretty solid player. Eric Kendricks, the old Viking, he has a couple years in it, man. He's getting close to that 10th year playing. This will be his 9th season. 137 tackles, so he's still a very productive linebacker, and he started all 17 games. So very productive inside linebackers, running out that 3-4. So you combine that with Morgan Fox, a healthy Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. I think that front 7 it's very real decent. Is it super dominant? Would I rather their front 7 over ours? Nah, I think we have a great depth. You know, I don't want to go too much into the Chargers' depth yet. I don't know guys like Scott Matlock or Nick Williams, Otito Obania, Arbina. I don't know these guys, honestly. I guess I could probably look at their numbers and the things they're putting up, but we'll just move on to the secondary. Like I said, J.C. Jackson doesn't get as hurt as he does. That could help your defense out. Sante Samuel Jr., he's following in Dad's footsteps, the old Patriot. Alohi Gilman, Derwin James. Like I said, Derwin James stayed very relatively healthy for what you kind of get from Derwin James at times. He's a great safety. It's just always been a matter of can he stay healthy kind of thing. But he did a decent job of staying healthy. Let's see. Interceptions. He had 2. He also can give you some tackles, 115 tackles. So Derwin James is back there if he can stay as healthy as he did last year. Not saying that he won't miss 1 or 2 games, but you definitely don't want him out 6, 7 games. It's like the Chargers defense, I feel like kind of takes turn. Like they can't never really all stay healthy and put it all together. So that's pretty tough as a team. Alohi Gilman. He's their other starting safety. He missed a lot of games. He started about 5 games. Well, he didn't miss a lot, but he started 5 games. 1 interception, 58 tackles. So he's probably a more of a decent player than somebody that the Chargers defense depends on, meaning that there's opportunities to take advantage of those matchups with your tight ends. Let's see, J.C. Jackson. Started 5 games, like I said, and then missed 12. Didn't get to log any interceptions. Didn't log much. Oh, excuse me. Decent in coverage. Has had good years in the past with New England. Last year, I guess we didn't get to see as many games for him. So I think him staying healthy, along with Asante Samuel Jr., and Derwin James, you should have a real good secondary. I guess I'll remain homer here, and I like our secondary a little bit better than the Chargers, especially at that safety area. But Asante Samuel had 2 interceptions. Completion percentage, about 55% completion percentage. So Asante Samuel, he's moving up. He's moving up to be that cornerback 1. J.C. Jackson still should be a good corner for you. Derwin James, if he can, like, again, stay as healthy as he did. Key for the Chargers defense is that everybody has to stay healthy. You've heard a lot of big names miss a lot of time, from Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson. So if those 2 guys can stay healthy for you, your Morgan Fox guy started about 12. So they got some good names across. Again, I like our defense a little bit better. Their offense, I could say, if I'm being honest, I don't know, because Keenan Allen is he's kind of on the downside of his career, I feel. Not too much. How long Keenan Allen been in there? He's 31, so on the wrong side of 30. He's balding and stuff. No disrespect, but so maybe he's kind of moving away from just that number 1. He's been in the league so he's going into his 11th season, so you really can't expect Keenan Allen to be the Keenan Allen of old. Maybe Quentin Johnson might help for playing time. Mike Williams missed a couple games last year. Mike Williams, another guy who's never been able to just stay fully healthy, but does get close to those 1,000-yard seasons. So very good wide receiver still, but I think just having that clear-cut number 1 in CD, I think that makes our wide receiving core a little bit better. I think our offensive line is on par with theirs. They have an all-pro in Slater, a young guy in Zion, and Corey Linsley's a real solid guy. See if Corey Linsley has any accolades at center. Made a Pro Bowl. First team All-Pro. So, I mean, I think their offensive line, she got 2 All-Pros. Zion, us, we have Zach, we have Biotish, made a Pro Bowl. Tyler Smith's on his way to being, I feel like, one of the best tackles, guards in the game. We're just trying to see what Tyron, and if Tyron Smith can provide you something, and Terrence Steele probably will be healthy by that game. So the last time Terrence Steele played the Chargers, I think that was his breakout game where people started noticing who Terrence Steele was. So offensive line, I would say it's kind of a wash. I give us the wide receiver. Tony Pollard and Austin Eckler, they're kind of a wash at running back, very good running backs. I think our tight end room might be a little bit better than theirs. I can check their tight ends real quick. Who's next up on their depth chart? Donald Parham. 470. So they spread it out. No, that's career. Yeah, they averaged 30 yards and 1 touchdown. So I will give the nod to our tight end room, even with Dalton Schultz being gone. But that's just me knowing my tight ends. Maybe Chargers fan, you might be able to tell me a little bit different. Was it just a matter of, those guys just not getting enough touches? But quarterback-wise, Herbert has definitely put up way more numbers than Dak, but 10 games has been the most games he's won thus far. Dak's had multiple 10-game winning seasons, so we can maybe credit that to the Chargers team. Last year, like I said, maybe if your defense stays healthy, Rashawn Slater remains, you could probably that could probably have been easily a 12-5, 13-4 kind of team. So I'll give the Chargers the benefit of the doubt. I think defensively, both defenses will have good matchups with the offenses, but I think their skill players are a little bit. I think Dak has a little bit better skill players, again, with CD just becoming a bona fide number 1. Tony Pollard should be able to kind of continue that production with Brandon Cooks. Michael Gallup should be healthy. They do have the weapons to match up with us, though, but we also have the weapons to match up with them. So that's going to be a hard game to call. That'd be one of those games that it could go either way, honestly. And so hopefully Micah can kind of have the same game he had against the Chargers a couple years ago. But I think that's going to be a tough game for the Cowboys for sure. If I'm looking at, let's see, are they playing in Dallas or playing in Dallas? Yeah, we're playing in LA. Home away from home, though, October 16th. That's going to be a Sunday night football game. I think I saw that. See, I think it's a Sunday night football game. Or Monday night. I don't really have a calendar in front of me, but primetime game. So you'll have Cowboys in LA in primetime. Dak and Herbert. If Dak can go 2-0 now, and if he can go 2-0 against Herbert, I might have to start considering, how we kind of look at Dak when you talk about all the young quarterbacks, because y'all love to leave him out the mix with that. So, Chargers, they have some holes. I wouldn't say they have a completely dominant defense, but it's way better than average. It's above average when healthy. Chargers, it'd be interesting to see what their offense does. Hopefully, Kellen Moore can go over there and have one of those games where he's just playing totally, he's just passing, and just forgetting how to play like a balanced team, not taking advantage of his running game or what you have on that offensive line. So we'll see, man. We'll see. So next game we're going to get into, and maybe I'll try to drop another video today since I was a couple days out. No promises though. But next game we're going to take a very early look at it. And again, these are all real early looks. A lot of off season still. You still have all of June, July, August, and anything can happen. But before we actually get to the week of this game, all these games. So, the Rams. So we'll go from LA, and then we'll come back to Dallas to play another LA team. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens. So we'll be covering the Cowboys and the Rams next. But I think this Cowboys-Chargers game, if both teams are healthy, I think the Chargers are more than a formidable foe. I got a wasp flying around me. There you go. So let me get out of here, man, before I get stung. But y'all know what it is, man. Peace.